Hello, everybody. Welcome. How are you? Hope you're having a great day. So, Foodie's been busy this morning. She did a live this morning where she was high AF. She was so high. Y'all remember I did a react to her being at the cafe by herself. Isn't it funny that she went to the cafe by herself? I wonder if the cafe was right next to a dispensary. Anyway, she did a video called Words Double Pasta Feast Mukbang Chicken Parmesan and Creamy Shrimp Alfredo. And I'm going to let y'all know right now. I woke up today and I chose violence. Absolute violence. I've got so many things to say about this video and about her. And I'm not even going to monetize this video because I'm going to go completely off on Foodie. Just know that. There's going to be some bad language. For those of you that don't like bad language, this video is going to be probably full of it. I'm not going to censor myself today. We're not doing that. And I'm going to say some things that are going to be really, really harsh at Foodie. But it's just because she needs a side of truth with everything that she's eating. She needs to put truth on the table along with the pasta, along with all the food. She needs a side of truth and she needs to eat it in big mouthfuls. So we're going to get started with this. Remember, I got so much to say. So for those of you that are sensitive to bad language, you don't want to hear any profanity, really sorry if I use it, but I tend to do that when I get angry. And this video made me really, really, really angry. Really angry. So let's just go ahead and pull it up. Okay. I was watching a few minutes of this a few minutes ago, and I'm like, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't hold back with this video. I just can't. I just can't, because the way that she's catering to the feeders, like the intense way she's doing it anymore, it's too over the top. And it's making me more and more angry because binge eating disorder, it is a harmful disorder. It takes people's lives. It affects people. If left alone, it will consume you, and it has consumed her. And yet she's found a platform where not only can she exploit her weight, but exploit her eating disorder and find people to back it up. Essentially, she's an addict who's found funders to fund her addiction. And that's not what YouTube is meant for. It's not meant to be used as a platform where you're an addict and you look for people that help you keep the addiction going, rather than get off the platform and seek help and get it under control. So this whole sick, toxic system of I'm going to hurt myself on camera and you guys are going to watch, and I'm especially looking for those people to keep it going. It's a wheel that needs to be broken. So I can't break the wheel, but I can speak out against the wheel, and so I am. So let me just go ahead, and she's on the screen. Let's go, y'all.
Microphone on today. Some of you liked the noise, some of you didn't. So I just want to say a disclaimer, as always. There's going to be some probably intense eating noises. I'm not sure how bad, how good. I don't know. We'll see. But
and I have to wonder if there is a feeder, circling around her, that they are into the eating noises and she's catering to that person or a few people. Because, the feeders, they do like the eating noises. They like a lot of things. For those who are wondering, how can you spot different things in Foodie's videos where she's catering to the feeders? Okay, so let's see the things that I know about. Yeah, the eating noises, the eating with your mouth open, letting the food drip down your face and onto your clothes. They love that. They love to see you with clothes on that are too small. Y'all remember in one of the reacts she just did, she was unbuttoning her shirt. Feeders love that. There are feeders that like to see you have trouble getting in and out of your clothes. There are feeders that like to see you have trouble doing the simplest of things, like walking or doing housework. The immobilizers, they're called. They love that. So the close-ups of the food going in and out of your mouth, the moaning, the groaning, the rolling of the eyes, they love all of that. And she's been doing an excessive amount of that. Also, in the last react that I did, where she was at the cafe having the poutine, what was it? Like, she actually switched seats so that not only could she eat her poutine, but his poutine as well. So who paid you for that video, Foodie? Who paid you to make that video? Because I think you're taking feeder requests. I really do. I think that a lot of the content that you do are straight feeder requests. Somebody pays you off YouTube to do a video. And then once you do the video and send it to them, you double dip and then you put the video on YouTube for more money. Somebody's paying you for this shit. But here's the punchline to the evil joke that you tell yourself every day. Okay, you think you're being slick and you think you're being smart by doing videos like this on YouTube. You think, oh, it's just easy money. How cool is this? I get to eat a lot of food and I get to make money doing it. But the joke is on you because you're ruining your health. You're ruining your health entirely for a paycheck that's not even that big. The money that you make on YouTube barely pays the bills anymore. You used to make a lot of money, but that hasn't been for a while. And if you're over there in Thailand, which is generally cheaper than most areas of the world, and you're complaining about the cost of tuk-tuks and cabs and all that stuff, that tells me you don't have much money. So you're ruining your health for a paycheck that barely clears all of your expenses. And for what? For what? To satisfy a small group of people that honestly do not care about you. They care about what they can get from you. There is a difference. When a person cares about you, they care about all of you and they don't want you to hurt yourself. When somebody just wants something from you, they just want something from you, but it doesn't mean that they are emotionally invested in you, nor do they honestly care about your well-being. And these fetish people that you're catering to, they just care about what they can get out of you. And as long as you're providing it, they'll stay in your corner. But if something happens to you and you end up in the hospital, they're going to be out of your corner looking for somebody else to satisfy their fetish. And you're just 1 or 2 paychecks away from all of the dominoes coming to come crashing down. You don't have anything saved up. All it would take is one hospital visit and your whole world will come crashing down. Everything depends on your YouTube income. And if you ain't making your checks, Salah's going to be gone. Everything you're doing is going to be gone. You're not thinking about the, down the road. You're just thinking in the moment. And in your mind, as long as it works in the moment, it's working. Well, it ain't working because your health is breaking down. You can barely move.
I'm just testing out things right now, especially with the microphone. So I hope you enjoy this video. Anyway, thanks for watching it and commenting. So I was craving pasta, specifically chicken parm and fettuccine.
Were you craving it or was your feeder craving it? Because the feeders, they don't want to see you eat healthy food. They want to see you eat very unhealthy food. The more processed, the more junky, the better. And the larger the quantities, the better. So who paid you for this shit? And another question, is this same feeder going to pay your hospital bills when you end up there? All of them. Are they going to pay for your hospital bills? Are they? Are you really thinking about that? You should be thinking about that. Like, all these people are getting this fetish content out of you. Are they going to pay for your hospital bills, your expenses? Because God knows you don't have the money. And I don't think Salah's going to have the money because he's depending on you for the free trips to Thailand, for you to pay his way. He ain't got the cash flow. He ain't working. So you're not wanting to think about the reality of the situation. What if you can't be on YouTube and work, foodie? Like, do you have some sort of a parachute? Because I don't think you do. I think if something happens and you start to fall, you're not going to have a parachute at all. You're going to hit the ground. You're going to hit it hard.
Like fettuccine Alfredo. So,
and for anybody coming from Foodie's channel that you're a Beezer and you're saying, well, you're being harsh to Foodie, you're being mean to Foodie, you're being a bully. No, I'm being truthful. I'm asking questions that need to be asked. And understand this. I am somebody that I've got 2 perspectives going on right now. I'm somebody that I've dealt with BED. Mine was never to the extreme of Foodie's, but I still dealt with it. And on top of that, I'm somebody that I've lost a family member to addiction. I had a little sister who died of an OD the day after Mother's Day. So not only am I somebody that I had an addiction to food, like Foodie, but I lost my sister. a while ago. So I got both sides of the coin of someone being an addict and someone who's lost someone to addiction. That's why I'm so fired up. Because no one, and I mean nobody, should be getting the fuck on YouTube and doing this. Getting on YouTube, being an addict, and showcasing their addiction on YouTube and looking for people to fund this crap. She's got a problem with food. She should not be showcasing her problem and exploiting her problem. She should be dealing with her problem. She should be going to inpatient. She should be going to therapy. She's not. And YouTube is not therapy. I don't care how many times she gets in her VIB chat and talks to people. That is not proper therapy. That is just you venting. But venting does not fix the problem. It makes you feel better for a minute, but it doesn't get to the root of the problem and helps it to get better. It's just you getting some stuff off your chest, which everybody does. We all vent. And then maybe the people we talk to, they give us some advice, and maybe that helps the situation or not. But venting is not what Foodie needs. She needs actual help. And of the 100% of people on her channel that come to see her, she's not interested in 100% of y'all. She isn't. The 70%, 75% of you guys over there that you want her to get healthy, you encourage her to get healthy, I'm sorry to break it to you. She don't care about y'all. She cares about the fetish people coming onto her channel, giving her that extra money. Because her channel has arrived at a place where she's not getting the super chats like she used to. So she's depending on that side money from the feeders to pay the bills and to pay for her food. And some of the feeders do pay for her food. And sometimes they buy her clothes. Sometimes they get a little bit extra here and there. She's leaning on to them. She's looking for them. She puts tags on her videos to signal them. She does titles to signal them. And now she can't even use the word bees in a title because YouTube has caught on to her game and they've said, no, we're not going to let you use this made up word to get around our terms of service, Foodie. And what I got to say about that is, YouTube, it took you long enough, but good on you for finally catching on to what she's doing. But it took you long enough. But it's funny to me, YouTube, and here's a complaint for YouTube. I got a complaint for YouTube. YouTube, listen, wake up. Question, YouTube. How is it that you're allowing this crap on YouTube? At this person, Foodie Beauty, she has said outright numerous times that she has BED. She's got binge eating disorder. And yet, you monetize her videos. And yet, as a reactor, I'm not getting on camera and doing food videos. I'm not exploiting my eating disorder. But as a reactor, talking about Foodie, if I even mention binge eating disorder or food problem, you guys hit me with the yellow dollar sign. How does that work? You'll monetize her fucking video, but if I even just use a word, you got a problem with me. And that goes for all the other reactors too. We got to find code words. And we're not even doing the behavior. We're just talking about the behavior. Explain that to me, YouTube. Explain to me how you can allow somebody to exploit their eating problem and become more unhealthy and use your platform to do it. And then you're going to sit there and slap at the people who are just simply talking about the issue and bringing awareness to it. Anyway, let's go.
But when the food arrived here, it's not traditional Alfredo and Parm, as you'll see, okay? Still has like a Thai influence to it, it looks like. So it's not like Italian. I'm going to have some Coca-Cola to drink. And this is just some sides of like pickles in a sauce, like pickled garlic and chilies and things. It smells okay, but so this is the first one. It's
as far as your setup, I don't know what's going on here. Like she had the table and the table sat far down. Why is the table like nearly at her chin? What's going on with that? Was Foodie listening to some of the reactors recently when they were talking about, you know what, you want to call this a mukbang, but people can't even see the food. They only see the food when it goes into your mouth. That's not a mukbang. Were you listening to some of those people, foodie? Did you watch some of my videos? Because I mentioned that too. Did you also hear the part where I was talking about what you're doing is not a mukbang? Because in Korea in 2010, when the mukbang trend started, it wasn't about being gluttonous. It wasn't about stuffing your mouth full of food as fast as you can put it in. The mukbang trend started in Korea for essentially people who worked long hours, who were alone a lot, and they just wanted the sensation of eating with somebody. So they would tune into streamers who would just be eating normal meals and talking to people. And it would give them a sense of having somebody there when nobody was there. It kind of gave them a sense of, in a sense, companionship. So what you're doing is not a mukbang. What you're doing is you're catering to the feeders. Yet you can't come right out and say so because you know it's against the terms of service. So over the years, you tried to find different ways to get around the terms of service. Long ago, you used to title your videos as binges because that got the attention of the feeder crowd. But then when YouTube said, nope, you can't do that, you changed it to beezing. You came up with that made up word and it worked for a while. Now YouTube is saying you can't use bees anymore. So now you're putting the entire meal in the title. And you're probably putting tags on this video to signal the feeders, hey, I'm over here. I'll cater to you. I don't know why you're working so hard to make them happy. At the same time that your life is miserable. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. Why work so hard to make a group of people happy that don't care about you? They care about what they can get from you. And if something happens to you, they're going to be of no comfort. If you end up in the hospital, they're not going to be holding your hand. They're not going to say, we're here for you, foodie. Oh, no. No, they're going to be gone, looking for somebody else to satisfy their needs. For the moment, you do. But it could be somebody else later. You are pushing yourself into an early grave. I'm going to tell y'all something else. Not too long ago, there's a channel. I'm sorry, I forget the name of the channel, but there is a docu-series on Life by Jen. There's like 4 different parts. I watched it and the presenter did not even say, was it Mr. Snowflake that did it? I'll have to go look. But the presenter did not say a single word. They let the video clips do the talking. And it was really sad to watch. And I'm not going to speak ill of the dead. I'm not going to speak ill of Life by Jen. But when you watch the docu-series on Life by Jen, and then you look at Foodie's content, it's just the similarities are so eerie and so scary. And for me, it makes me more mad. It does. It makes me more mad because I look at Foodie and I'm like, you have a choice. You've got a clear choice. You've got the choice to be healthy. You've got the choice to choose the audience you want to have. You don't have to cater to the feeders. She can't even come to everybody and say, the reason why I'm catering to them is because if I don't cater to them, my whole channel is going to flop. Like I need them around. No, you think you need them around. You really, really don't. There's lots of good choices you could be making, but you keep making the bad choices, which is leading to all of your suffering. And you sit there and say, I love my family. Do you really? Do you really love your family? If you loved your family, you'd want to preserve your health. You want to stick around for them. But doing this video right here, videos like this, all those videos tell me is you don't give a shit about your family. You don't give a shit about yourself. And you don't care about the people on your channel that like you. Because you're almost racing to the graveyard, Foodie. And all those fucking feeders, they're right behind you with shovels wanting to dig the hole.
Alfredo with shrimp. Yeah, Alfredo with shrimp. Looks like it has mushrooms, all kinds of things. And then I have the chicken parm. So, bismillah, let's dig in. I'm going to try this Alfredo. First, actually, I'm going to try these first. I don't know what this is. Let's see. Is it a shrimp? Oh, it's like shrimp and salmon. Raw salmon. That's interesting. It tastes good, though. I'm just going to get some on my plate. All right, let's see. I have a little plate here. Let's try this. Mmm. That's good.
Is it? You know, a while ago, Foodie, I noticed something. I noticed that you stopped having the reactions you used to have. Like, I remember back in the day when you would go around to different fast food drive-ins at 3 in the morning when you were still with BB, and you'll be all giddy and excited to get your fix. And that's exactly what it was. It was your fix. You were excited to get the attention from the people on the live stream, and you were excited to get your fix in front of everybody. And you would go to the drive-ins and you would take your first bite, and that brain explosion would happen, that dopamine. Like you would just be off in your own world. Haven't seen that look in a while. You want to know why? Because you're taxing your body. When you do something too much, whatever it is you're addicted to, you start off doing that thing to get high. But then after a while, the high goes away. And the only reason why you're doing it is because you don't want to go into withdrawals. So you're not eating food to get high anymore. You're just eating it because you're terrified of what's going to happen if I stop eating. You're terrified of change. You're terrified of changing your routine. What you should be terrified of is what's going to happen if you don't change your fucking routine. Like, what is coming that you know is going to come if you don't stop yourself? The Grim Reaper is practically breathing over your shoulder. He's right there. And this is not me wishing anything upon you. See, that's the thing that a lot of people who watch these videos, they don't get. They think that by saying these things, the reactor is wishing this upon somebody. No, I'm not wishing anything upon you. This is what you wish for yourself. Every time you do a video like this, you are wishing it for yourself. You're making it happen. You're the one in control of the ship. You are at the wheel. You can turn that ship any way you want, and yet you keep steering it into the rocks. The reactors don't want you to die, but you're pushing yourself to an early grave. I don't know why. I have never seen someone so determined to bring about their own demise, but you are. With every plate of food, with every sitting that you do with the pasta and everything else, you are wishing that for yourself. I don't know why you're wishing so hard for death, but you do. And you really need to stop. There's time. If you want it, I don't think you want it, but there's time. As long as you're on this side of the grass, you can do anything. But once you're on the other side, it's game over. So big question. Do you want to continue to play the game, or do you want the game to end? This is entirely up to you.
The sauce is really tasty, actually. Shrimp. It's like it's a cream sauce, but there's like chunks of garlic mushroom.
You know, I'm going to say something. Y'all take it for what it is. There are people who become addicts, and addiction is a horrible, horrible thing. When you're an addict, no matter what you're addicted to, you are in your own personal, private hell. And depending on the situation, the people that are around you who are not the addicts, they are in that hell with you. You suffer, but the people around you suffer as well. They're hurting too. because they feel powerless, like they don't know how to help you. They are not the captain of the ship. They're on this ship just hoping that you steer it in the right direction, but ultimately they are not in control of the ship. You are. But addiction is your own personal private hell. It is a huge battle. And there are people that make it out on the other side alive, and then there are those who do not. Addiction claims lives of people that we love, of people that we know. It does. It took my sister. And I'm getting mad at Foodie because she's got family and she should care more. She got every reason in the world to live. She's got access to resources and tools, and she's not using them. She's caring more about a group of people that she can't even see and satisfying their fetish than her own fucking life. Well, what can I do? What can any of us do? With every bite, she's making her choice. She's choosing death over life. It don't have to be that way.
And there's like definitely spice in it. I honestly cannot pinpoint what the spice is. It's very unique. I've never had any like this.
By the way, Foodie, as far as mukbangs go, I watch different mukbang channels. There's a couple that I keep an eye on. And the mukbang channels that I've seen, which are larger than yours, more professional than yours, they don't stuff their mouth full of food like that. It's not about stuffing your mouth full of food. It's about eating the food. And you can eat the food and present it in a pleasant way without the gross eating noises, without the sloppy eating. When you do stuff like this, you're not doing a mukbang. You're doing feeder content. What you should be doing is going over to OnlyFans and doing this shit. It don't belong on YouTube. This is not the platform for someone who's got an eating disorder to exploit their eating disorder and make money. And anybody who might be watching Foodie, and maybe you're someone that you just wandered onto YouTube and found her, and if you've got the thought in your head, this is how you make a big channel, this is how you make the big money, I caution you against following in her footsteps. And I urge you to look at other channels that have done this route. Look at Amberlyn Reed. Look at Nikocado Avocado. Look at all the big channels like this that they chose food over their health. Their health has been suffering. They become pretty much shut-ins. Nikocado was the only one who, yeah, he's gained a lot of weight, but he's also made a lot of money. He's a millionaire, but he's still got bad health. Foodie's health has suffered. Amber's health has suffered. Hungry Fat Chick, her health suffered. But Hungry Fat Chick got smart. She chose her life and her health over the numbers, and she's getting herself together. And now she's about, I would say, 20 pounds away from the weight that Foodie started out when she started doing these videos. So she's choosing life over the feeder fetish. And Foodie's still leaning into this. And she thinks it's perfectly okay to exploit what's wrong with her versus healing it. Nobody follow in her footsteps. This is not healthy. This is not okay. This is wrong. You don't take a severe hurt that's wrong with you and make money off of it. No. No, this is not the platform for that.
Mushrooms.
Like, this is the kind of content that should be done in private and only for people who want to see it. It's not fair to come on YouTube and put this content on a public platform for all of the public to see when there are people that come on YouTube that struggle with eating disorders, that struggle with BED, and seeing this kind of content might trigger them to eat again. It might trigger them that whatever recovery that they have gotten or they're getting to kind of undo it. That's why it's bad. It's bad for her, and it's bad for anybody who watches her.
I'm going to have some Coca-Cola. Listen to that hiss. Nice hiss. You guys ever watch that like MRE guy, Steve? He always says that when he opens an MRE. Nice hiss. I'm going to eat one of these chilies with garlic. Okay. Ooh. Time for the chicken. Chicken breast. We got some basil. If I have one complaint, it's that they didn't have any garlic bread at this place. I'll get that later.
Why do you have to get it later? So 2 plates of pasta is not enough. There's not enough carbs for you. You're going to add bread on top of that. There's no reason to get it later. You got plenty of carbs in front of you. You shouldn't even have 2 containers of carbs. One of those could be split between 2 people, and you've got 2. The fuck?
Spicy.
Wow, very spicy.
I got a feeling that she's got a feeder in her corner right now, that their deal is they want her to eat spicy stuff because this is the second time she's eaten spicy food and she's sensitive to spice. So who's that person, Foodie, that's giving you all this money? I want to have a talk with them because their fetish, the way they're doing it with you, is sick. The feeder fetish is sick. It involves somebody else eating a lot of food and making themselves healthy. Yeah, I said it. The feeder fetish is fucking sick. You got the feeder fetish. There's something wrong with you. That you want someone to get obese or super morbidly obese and have health problems for your fucking fetish. Anybody coming to Foodie's channel and supporting this shit, something's wrong with you. She's over 500 pounds. She can barely move. She can barely find clothes to fit her. Yet those of you that are feeders that get in her chat and you're sitting there talking to her about food, it's on the same level as going to somebody who is into coke or heroin and talking about their drug of choice, making them think about it, making them fixate on it. Coke and heroin are illegal drugs. Food is her legal drug. And she's consuming it and she's fixated on it. And the evidence of what it's doing to her is just more and more apparent. And yet, people get into her chat and they put it in her face. There are those of you that are Beezers that you care about Foodie and you get it. You don't talk about food with her, but there are those who get into her chat and they deliberately mention food because they want to see her eat, because they're into that fetish. And for those people that are doing that, you're a bunch of sick fucks. You're going to sit there and encourage her to eat. And if something happens to Foodie, don't you dare get in her chat and say, "Oh, my queen, I'm so sorry. I hope she's all right," because you're the ones with the shovels digging the grave. Do you understand? You're helping this to happen. You're helping. She controls what goes into her mouth, but you don't sit there and take whatever it is an addict is addicted to and make them fixate on it. You don't make them think about it. If you have any respect, you'll talk about anything else but whatever it is the addict is addicted to. You help them stay away from it. You don't help them stay consumed with it. Understand? Some of you guys over there, man, there's something wrong with you.
The pasta.
Spicy, cheesy pasta.
You like your macaroni and cheese?
Yeah.
And there's also no parm. Oh, the noodles are so good. They have I don't have a knife. So I have to eat it like this.
Why would you put the table so high up that you're literally like this, trying to reach up to everything? Are you trying to hide yourself, foodie? You're trying to hide your body. Like, why is the table so high? You practically got it up to your chin. Or is that like a feeder fetish thing too? Like, I like forget showing off my body. I'm just going to show my face, and I'm going to show the food, and I'm going to show the food going into my face. Is that what's going on here? Like, let's just show the important parts, showing the food going into the face. It's not a mukbang. This is not you sitting down with a normal meal, a normal size meal, and just making interesting conversation. That would be a mukbang. Or doing a mukbang where you're not talking at all, and the food is interesting and it's beautiful and it's colorful, and that might be a mukbang. This is not it. This is straight feeder content, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting. You exploiting your eating disorder for profit is disgusting. You tailoring your videos to the feeders is disgusting. You putting tags on your videos to signal those people to come and watch you and send you money off camera to get those feeder requests is disgusting. Exploiting an eating disorder is disgusting. Because you're not doing this in private. You're doing it in full view of the public. And the full public does not need to see this. Okay? There's lots of people who struggle with BED. They don't need to be exposed to this at all, period.
They have a very nice basil flavor, fresh basil. Mmm.
Sitting there calling it a mukbang, and she's stuffing as much into her mouth as she can possibly get in there. I've been screaming for the longest. This is for her content is for the feeders. She's been doing this for years. She started all the way back. When she started her channel, she was doing many different kinds of content because, like any new YouTuber, if you don't know exactly what you want to do, you'll try out different things to see what people like. So she did video game playthroughs, and she did makeup hauls and makeup looks. I mean, she was just trying to struggle. She was struggling to find her footing. That's normal. But then the mukbang trend happened, and she did some videos where she got a lot of views. And then after that point, it became all consuming to her to do what she could to get the most views and to get the most money. I will always say that foodie being monetized on YouTube was the worst thing that could have happened to her. Because let's think about this for a minute. If she had never had a YouTube channel, if she had never got monetized, she might be a lot healthier right now. She'd be like anybody else on the street with an ordinary job and an ordinary paycheck. She wouldn't have been able to buy all that green. She wouldn't have been able to buy all that food and splurge on whatever she wanted. You know, it takes a tremendous amount of money now to feed foodie, to keep her appetite and her obsessions and her addictions going. She's reached such a high level with all of those that if she couldn't be on YouTube and she wasn't making that YouTube money, she'd be in a world of hurt. She would. Being monetized was the worst thing to happen to you, foodie, because it gave you freedom to go wild, and you did. You went wild in the worst way. You made yourself as unhealthy as possible. Now it takes $3,000 to $4,000 a month just to feed you. That's insane. It's insane. And you're going wild and you're acting the fool on camera for what? For people who don't care. At the end of the day, they don't care. They care about their fetish. It's so weird to me that you do things on camera despite your haters, right? Despite your haters. I'm going to show them. So on one side, you're doing things despite your haters. On the other side, you're doing things to cater to people that they're all about you ruining your health. So cater to those who are all about you ruining yourself and doing things despite those that speak out against what you're doing, to let you know how wrong it is, that it's not normal. Here's a thought to think about. The people that you consider haters, maybe they're not your haters. Maybe they're just telling the truth and you don't want to hear it. Maybe they're just pointing out to you things that you should be thinking about. Maybe they're doing it in a way that's not nice to your ears, but it's still truth. You should think about it. It's not normal to sit there and get yourself so big that you are having trouble finding clothes to wear. It's not normal to lose all of your mobility almost in about a 3 to 4 year period. You're doing a lot of not normal behavior. Of course, people are going to say something. They're trying to bring it to your attention versus the feeders that they're co-signing on this bullshit. They're encouraging it and they're paying for it. And you think they love you. Let me tell you something. If people really love you, they don't co-sign on your bullshit. They'll let you know that it is bullshit because they care. They care about your well-being. They're bringing it to your attention for a reason. They're saying, this isn't right. You need to stop. People do that because they care. People who don't care, they'll encourage the bad behavior. And they'll giggle and laugh when something bad happens to you. Dummy.
Now, nothing cooking? Oh.
I'm gonna try it.
Mm.
Yummy, I will have it.
Yes. I'm glad you enjoy.
And let's talk about that idiot sandwich over there in the background who won't even show his face. Let's talk about him for a minute. Do you think he cares about you, Foodie? He cares about what he can get out of you, on the same level as the feeders. I don't think he's a feeder. I think he's just a no good douchebag bum, a professional bum living off of you. I think that he spent a lot of time working you, and you may not have a lot of money to take him on trips all the time, but as long as he's by your side and you're paying for everything, he doesn't have to work. So he's sticking with you, and he's going to stick with you until the very last dime, dollar, and nickel is out of your pocket. Then he's going to take off. He's in it for the free ride. Even if you're not living posh and wealthy, he's there for the free ride, because as long as you're around, he doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to get a job or be responsible or be a member of his family that the other family members look up to and are proud of. No, he just wants to be a professional bum. And you're giving him the space to do so. As long as he comes on camera and smiles and is your fake phony husband, he'll pay his way. Didn't you say long ago, all he has to do is fake love me and I'll give him the world? Well, he's fake loving you, but fake love is not real love. Fake love is expensive, apparently. Real love is free. But he's enabling you. He's right there co-signing on it because he's getting something out of it. So just like the feeders, he is there to get what he can out of you before something happens to you. And you best believe that if your stupid, silly ass gets bedbound, he ain't sticking around. He won't. Because taking care of somebody who's bedbound is a big responsibility. Making sure the person is bathed, helping them put on their clothes, changing their bedpan. That requires a level of knowledge and care that he doesn't know what to do. Caring for somebody who is bariatric is a big responsibility. Caring for somebody who's super, super morbidly obese, who's bariatric, is an even bigger responsibility. It's a lot more labor intensive. He doesn't have the training. You have set yourself on a path where you're going to be bedbound. And he doesn't have the patience for this. He's not going to stick around if you become bariatric, if you're bedbound and you can't work. The moment you run out of money, he will run from your broke ass. He'll find another mark. Or maybe, just maybe, considering what's going on behind the scenes, if what you say is true and he's got control of all of your accounts, maybe you've made him a manager of your YouTube channel or channels. He's in your bank account. Maybe he'll profit off your death. Yeah, I said it. If something happens to you and your channels are still running, if he's got access to everything, he's still profiting off of you. Maybe you're okay with that. Maybe you're not. But even if that's not true, he's around for what he can get out of you, not because he cares. He's around for a reason. And the reason is not love, apparently. Because a person who loved another person would put their foot down on all this shit.
A lot of people have asked me over my time on YouTube, like, why as a bigger person with eating, issues with eating and issues with food, why I choose to do mukbangs. And I know a lot of people think, oh, it's like easy money. It's like feeder content.
It is. Are you going to sit there and argue with me? Are you going to argue with everybody else when we're on our channels and we can see it for what it is and we call it out for what it is? And here you are trying to dispute that it's feeder content. Foodie, that is an argument you're going to lose. You're over there making titles to signal the feeders. You're putting tags on your videos to signal the feeders. You're doing content to signal the feeders. And you're doing behaviors in your videos that make the feeders happy. You know what they're looking for. And I'm going to bring something else up. A while ago, you got busted on a feeder website. You had a profile there. So you were looking for those people. And then when Kiwi Farms found out about it, you took the profile down. Another incident that happened a while ago also, you were in your chat and one of your feeders came into your chat and said, I really enjoyed the conversation last night. So one of your clients came in. That conversation got quickly deleted. So you're looking for those people. You're looking to make that side money off of YouTube. Anybody wondering why Foodie's not freaking out because she's not getting the super chats anymore on her live chats? It's because super chats don't matter. She's making money off camera, doing requests. And what the fuck do you think that Cameo is for? Just another way for her to talk to her feeders, have them contact her. Instead of using a feeder website, she's probably using Cameo as a portal to stay in touch and do videos for them. Yep.
Actually, I don't think I have any fans that are actual feeders. But
well, you know what? If that's true, question. If you don't have any feeders on your channel, which I do not believe that. I think that's a load of horse shit. The size of Mount Rushmore. If there are no feeders on your channel, and if you're not catering to those people, why are you making content that tailors to them? Who else would this be for? Who else would find this attractive? Who else would find this appealing? Except for the feeders. Why are you working so hard to make the feeders happy if they're not on your channel? Cut this shit, Foodie. You're doing feeder content. You need money. You and Salah must be blowing through money faster than you could make it. Your food bill must be through the roof. And considering the fact that you're in Thailand and you pretty much mapped out every dispensary on the map, you know exactly where they are and what they serve, knowing you, You're probably going to this dispensary and loading up on the green. And we know what happens when you smoke, you get hungry. So I'm sure the food bill has gone up even more because of that too. Because I do remember you being in Canada, and when you smoked, you would binge. Yeah, let's call it for what it is. You binge, bitch. It takes one to know one. Someone who used to binge, look at somebody still binging. And when you smoke the green, when you get high, you're binging. Ain't no two ways about it. You binge. So maybe while being in Thailand, and you're smoking the green, you get extra hungry. And you need more food. And if you're running low on money, where's that money going to come from? You don't know how to keep money in your pocket. And if Salah tries to tell you no for food, you're going to throw a temper tantrum. And just to shut you up, he'll give you what you want. So the money's got to come from somewhere. It ain't going to come from him. He ain't working. So lean on the feeders for that.
If I do whatever, I don't know about it. Each to each their own, you know. But for me, there's just a niche for people who like to watch other people eat for whatever their own personal reason is. For me, why I like doing them.
Yeah, and you're catering to the niche as much as you can. But why cater to them? You're an idiot. You're so busy catering to the 25% of people that have that fetish. What about the other 75% who don't have that fetish? That they're there because they care about you as a person, and there are people on your channel that are like, we want you to get healthy. We will appraise you if you eat healthy. We will praise you if you exercise. Instead of working so hard to make that 25% happy, what about the 75% who are still there? That they are there for the right reasons. You don't care about them because you're not getting extra money out of them. They're not as important as the people who are throwing that extra cash behind the scenes. Those people that you're ruining your health over. You're a moron.
Is because despite having issues with food, I love food. Like,
you know what? Stop. Despite having issues with food. Oh, so you're admitting, you're saying without saying, I've still got an issue with food. So you didn't cure your binge eating disorder, did you? I mean, I don't have to ask that question. I already know you haven't cured it. You haven't gone to therapy. You've not gone to inpatient. You're not in recovery at all. You're not going to be in recovery. As long as you're on YouTube and you're exploiting your problem, you're not healing your problem. You can't heal something that you're actively exploiting for profit. And that's just facts. So anybody on Chantal's channel, if she tries to feed you some bullshit of, I'm fine, I've cured my problem, don't listen to her. That's coming from somebody who has BED in recovery. Don't listen to her shit. She's lying. If she's coming on camera and eating massive amounts of food, she's still got a problem. She's not trying to stay away from food. She's leaning into the problem. She's exploiting the problem. How can it be healed when you do that? You can't. She's an active addict with an active problem that is affecting her life. And she's seeking out those to continue the hurt. And until she has that wake-up moment, and I don't know if she's ever going to have it, until she reaches that moment where she's sick and tired of being sick and tired, that life-changing moment where you say, I can't go any further. I can't do any more. Something has to change. Nothing's going to change. I've been watching Foodie a long time, and I can tell you with 100% certainty, I watch Foodie. She's not had that moment. Never seen a moment with her yet where she's had that look in her eyes and on her face that she's ready for change, that she's having that epiphany that she's hit the wall. She hasn't hit the wall yet. And as long as she has her YouTube channel, as long as she has her Beezers, or the people who are feeders encouraging her, she's going to keep going. She uses the feeders as sort of a parachute or a safety net to keep from hitting the ground. Honestly, she needs to hit the ground. She needs to have a wake-up moment. She's not going to have it as long as she has her toxic financial support system. Period.
A lot. And we have to eat. Like, people have to eat, no matter what size you are, no matter what health condition you're in. You have to eat food.
You know what? You're right. We all have to eat. But if you have BED, maybe your silly ass needs to eat off camera. If you're concerned about your health and if you want to get it under control, you eat off camera. You don't turn food into your content. That way you're mindful of what you're eating. You're mindful of the portions. Even if you are a channel where food was the main star, you turn your content a different way. Hungry Fat Chick has done precisely that. Her channel is bigger than yours, Foodie, twice the size of yours. And she said, fuck this feeder nonsense. My health is more important. I want to be on this earth a little bit longer. So I'm going to take my health seriously. And she's doing the damn thing. I'm proud of Candy. So proud. She's choosing her life over the money. You're choosing money and attention over your life. She's getting herself together and you're falling apart.
I know I don't have to eat the type of food I eat all the time, but I think it's like there's many different factors, and I've gone over this a lot. It's like a social eating. It's like I don't know.
No, it's not social eating. Here's something else. So Foodie characterizes what she does as not being a binge. And those of you that don't have BED, those that have never experienced it, it might be difficult to know what is a binge versus what is not a binge. Now, Foodie likes to paint one picture. Like, what she's trying to tell everybody else is that a binge is a lot of food spread out in front of you and you're going to town on all kinds of food all at once. A binge can look like anything. But usually when you do a binge, you do it alone. You do it away from people. You don't want anybody to see you. There's an element of embarrassment and shame because you know you're hurting yourself. You know something is wrong. You know you've got issues and they're wrapped up with food. And you don't want to share that shame and embarrassment with people. Like, you have negative thoughts or whatever, and it prompts you to eat, and then you eat, and then afterwards, you internally beat yourself up. You get mad at yourself. There's a sense of sadness or depression that follows. But what she's doing right now, she's eating by herself. She may have the camera on, and because of the camera, everybody gets to see it, but she's still eating alone. That is a fucking binge. There's no, Salah's there, but she don't care about him. She's not ashamed because he's on board. But essentially, most of the time, she's alone. It's a fucking binge.
But I even like watching people eat.
Why do you do that? If you had a problem with food, why are you watching people eat? You're constantly setting yourself up for failure. Surrounding yourself with food, going to the food, talking to people about food, watching TikTok videos and YouTube videos about food. You're constantly fixated on food. Why aren't you doing things where you are not fixated on the food, Foodie? Why is it always in your eyesight? Why? You're consumed with food. You know, addiction has many levels. And one of the final levels of addiction is when you're so consumed with it, that's all you want to do all day. You'll sit in a room and do the source of your addiction all day and you won't stop. She's at that level. I mean, honestly, is there any difference between what foodie is doing and let's just say there's somebody sitting in a crack house or in a house shooting up heroin or doing coke literally all day all night? Is there any difference beyond the fact that one substance is illegal and one is? Food addiction is hard because your addiction is legal and it's everywhere and it's in your face. And food is something you can't do without. So how do you fix an addiction to something that you cannot stop consuming? That was the thing that I struggled with for 6 years. How can I stop an addiction to something that I have to keep putting in me? And I had to figure out you have to adjust. You have to repair your relationship to food. You have to give it the respect it deserves. You can't give it more hats than what it's supposed to have. It's not supposed to be a friend or a loved one or a substitute for love. It's just something you put in your mouth to give you energy to go out into the world and do things. That's all it is. When you start looking at food and treating food for more than what it is, that's when you run into trouble. When you put emotional anchors on food, you run into trouble. She's got all kinds of emotional anchors on food, and she needs to get them all off. And if she cares anything about her health, she will change her content and get away from food entirely. But she's so engrossed in making the feeders happy that she's eating herself to death. And what can anybody do about it? What can anybody do? Nothing. She's got to be the one to make the change. Nobody else can make it happen but her.
Some people, it makes them feel less alone. Some people, it helps them if they have an eating disorder, actually.
You know what, bitch? Don't sit there and try to come off like you're doing us a favor over here that have BED. Like it's some kind of cure to watch you eat. Are you serious? What you're doing on camera could trigger people. You might be triggering people that have BED. In fact, as a matter of fact, I've seen comments in the past on your videos and sometimes on my videos of people that said they had BED. They got triggered by watching you. You shouldn't be doing this. If you had any respect for yourself and people that have EDs, you would stop this shit. You would say, I'm affecting myself and I'm affecting other people, but you won't because you're selfish and one-sided and self-centered and thinking only about your paycheck. But don't sit there and act like you're doing anybody any favors that have EDs. You're not. You're not.
So there's just different reasons. And, you know, I get that question asked a lot. So,
This is for.
Oh. yeah, you taste mine too, if you want. This is his mac and cheese.
Oh, and by the way, Salah, something you may or may not know, sir. Boy, you're going to have fun when you go home to Kuwait with this one. Because if she's in Thailand and she's been smoking that green, you know, she's been enjoying herself with the green, she's going to be a royal bitch when she gets home. Because she's getting her body used to something that she misses so very much. Her body's getting used to it being in there. She's going to be cranky and nasty and rude and intolerable when you get home. Oh, you have no idea what you're in for. You have no idea. She's going to be just a raging bitch when she gets home. We remember, those of us been watching Foodie for a long time, we remember how she was when she would run out of party favors. She would turn into a raging bitch. Cranky, nasty. We called it the nattertude. Yeah, she's going to have the nattertude. Have fun with that, though.
Yum.
Good.
Yeah, that was good. And like I won't ever just I eat whatever, you know, like compared to a lot of mukbangers, I don't think that my portions are huge. Sometimes they are. Sometimes I eat.
Foodie, listen. Your portions are huge. Let me throw some scientific facts at y'all people. Just something to think about. So Foodie's in the 400, 500 pound range. I think actually she's 550. That's just my guess. And I say that because when she was with BB, she was about less than 30 pounds away from being 400 pounds then. And anybody can look at that stream where she did the weigh-in and look at her now and say with full confidence that she's at least 100 to 100 pounds, 150 pounds heavier. But here's something to think about. Whatever your body size, whatever weight you're at, it takes a certain amount of calories to maintain that weight. Whether you're 150, 200, 120 pounds, you need a certain amount of calories to maintain your weight. When you eat over that calorie amount, you will start to gain weight. So Foodie being, let's just say 500 pounds, let's just say she needs about 4,000 calories to maintain that weight. 4,000 calories compared to someone like myself that my normal amount should be between 1,800 to 2,000 calories. So she's eating double what I'm eating just to maintain her weight. This woman is putting down like 4,000, 5,000 calories a day. Now let's add into that equation the fact that she's very sedentary. All right? Very sedentary. She doesn't do much. She doesn't run. She doesn't walk. She doesn't swim. So to maintain her weight, not gain, just maintain, she has to eat 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day. Here's something else. It takes 3,500 calories to make 1 pound of fat. So if she's eating over 4,000 calories a day, maybe 5,000, do the math, y'all. If she's not burning those calories off, she's gaining at least a pound a day. Now times that by 30 days, that's 30 pounds a month. If she eats more than that, so that could be, she can be gaining between 30 to 60 pounds in 1 month. That's why we're seeing the weight gain so rapidly. That's the reason why when she's buying a shirt like 2 months ago, it don't fit now. She's putting on weight like nobody's fucking business. Okay? If she just did a calorie deficit or she cut down her calories by half and just ate 2,000 calories a day, she would drop weight like nobody's business. That's what Hungry Fat Chick is doing. But the fact that she's not decreasing her calories, she's increasing. She's gaining weight, and a lot of it. And it won't be long before she's bedbound or worse. Like she's doing this to herself. At her current weight, she should be focused on just losing some of the weight so she can move around safely. But she's not. She's about, let me get on camera and do another mukbang, which it really isn't a mukbang, it's feeder content.
More. Sometimes I eat less. Sometimes I want something really fried most of the time. So, I mean, it just depends, you know. But I started my channel, you know, with a few makeup videos, and then I saw people eating on camera. And I thought, I love eating.
Yeah, so basically you started doing like makeup hauls and stuff like that. And then you saw people eating, you thought, what a concept. I can just eat a meal and make money. It's lazy, easy content. Let's do that. And so you did. And you started making money and getting the views, and that got you all excited. And that set you on the path for where you are now. You know, making all the way back then, making wrong decisions.
And I love talking.
Well, if you love talking, why is it that we never hear any interesting conversation? You just babble and you look towards your audience to know what to talk about. So it's not so much about the talking, it's about the eating. You just have to talk in between the bites, that's all.
So for me, I like the fact that I get to talk to you guys and eat dinner, you know. And eat good food.
You know, Foodie, you've said many times over and over again, I do this content because it's easy. It's effortless. It's so easy. That's why you stick with it. You can sit down, have a meal, make money. That's why you'll never change. You don't want to do the hard thing. You want to do the easy thing. Even if the easy thing is harmful to you, you'll stick with the easy thing.
I don't eat just the popular foods just to eat for a mukbang. You know, that's I'm not eating like Takis and things that are really popular.
Who is she trying to lie to? Foodie goes on TikTok and she goes on YouTube looking for anything that's going viral. She's always scrolling with her little fucking Twitter fingers, just scrolling on TikTok looking for anything viral. What's going viral? What's trending? She says she hates trends, but she looks to see what the trends are. What people are going viral with. What can I do to maybe get popular or get known? I want to go viral. She's so desperate to go viral. She'll eat things on camera she doesn't like, just hoping to go viral. Foodie, you've been trying to go viral for the longest. It ain't happened yet. And it ain't gonna happen because you're doing trash videos. The production is trash. The audio is trash. The video is trash. There's nothing interesting about it. See, that's something you're not getting. Usually when something goes viral, because it's interesting. But sitting in front of a camera and eating takeout straight out of the takeout containers, you don't even have the good sense to put it on a plate and make it look good, it ain't going to go fucking viral. You're a boring, bland ass potato. You ain't going to go viral. There's no sour cream on you. There's no butter. There's no chives. There's no bacon bits. You're a microwave dried out potato. How are you going to go viral? You're not. Stop chasing the trends. Start considering your health. It needs to happen.
Like tacky coated stuff. And that's delicious, I'm sure. I'm just saying that because, you know, I'm not doing mukbangs for clout or because if I did, I would be doing it for, I would be eating the popular things basically. And really, there's no need for me to, there's like chunks of peppercorn in here. I love it. And garlic. There's no need for me to do that. I've always kind of done my own style of mukbangs, you know.
These aren't mukbangs. I'm going to keep saying it. These are not mukbangs. These are catering to the feeders. Somebody paid her for this shit. Somebody who's a feeder said, I want you to eat pasta, eat a lot of it, and I'll pay you. That's why she did this.
Yum. Big mushrooms. Oh my gosh.
Like, this is insane. Eating that chicken parmesan. That 2 things of pasta. Why? Why?
But yeah, the mac and cheese is similar to this sauce, I find. It's not like bright yellow. So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say that again, I guess, because I get that.
No disrespect to whatever restaurant or place made that, but, you know, if you're doing a video and you're putting it on camera for the purpose of making money, wouldn't you want the food to look colorful and appealing? That dish, whatever it is, and again, I am sorry, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Thailand and its people and its culture, but that for a YouTube video, that's an awful dish to choose. The coloring, it's gray. It looks bad. Really bad. Awful.
That question a lot still. And I've always said, any of the really toxic behaviors I have with food, I would do off camera alone.
No, you wouldn't. You do them on camera. And what this is a binge, foodie. Most of the time, Salah's not even there. So you're binging alone. You just got the camera on and you're recording your binges. I'll die on that hill. This is a binge that's being recorded. And this binge is going to be put on YouTube for the sole purpose of making money. This is a recorded binge. You're looking at somebody who binge eats, putting it on YouTube to make money with their binge, looking for enablers, looking for the feeders to support her in her binges and fund her binges. In the past, She's had people buy her clothes. Remember the Lakma Fairy? Yeah, the Lakma Fairy, that was another feeder. Remember that whole month where she ate fucking paneer for like every day? That was another feeder. She had people sending her stuff through Amazon to her house. More feeders. She's always been surrounded by the feeders. And when she got with Natter, she lost a lot of those people because she mixed the feedy content with the drama and the drugs and all the other stuff. Now she's trying to get those people back. I've never seen I have never seen someone so hell-bent on destroying their life and losing their life. I don't get it. Especially when there's not that much monetary gain. Like she can't justify this at all. She can't look at all of us and say, well, yeah, I'm doing this to myself, but look, I've got a brand new car. I've got a brand new home. I've got lots of money in the bank. She can't even come to the table with that. She's got nothing. She's eating herself to death for a paycheck that probably doesn't cover much. Like it's stupid, it's ridiculous, and it makes no sense.
That's just how I've like always done things.
Yeah, the thing is, Foodie, you are very defiant. It's so stupid. You're so defiant. You don't want anybody telling you what to do. When people are saying you shouldn't be eating this food, you should slow down, you should go to inpatient, the defiant part of you says, I'm not going to listen to you. I do what I want. Okay, then. How about do this? How about tell yourself what to do? That way nobody else is telling you what to do. Where's that inner voice that would speak up and say, this is stupid. We need to stop. Or have you shut that down? Is that the reason why you do that? I said shit in your video. You're shushing that inner voice that normally speaks up and tells you what you're doing is wrong. You made it be quiet when really you should listen to it. If you don't want anybody telling you what to do, if you don't want to feel like people are bossing you around, boss yourself around. Take control of your own life. Like, I don't know why you're punishing your body so much for. What has it ever done to you? Why are you putting it through so much hell? It's struggling to survive, and you're not helping it at all.
So I do have an audience. I think they're less vocal. They just like to watch. I have an audience of people who like to watch my food videos for food videos.
Actually, the feeders are not so silent. Because I watch your videos, Foodie. I watch your lives. They're all up in the chat talking about food. Even in the comments section. Even the comment section, I see them. I love watching you eat. It looks so good. Fuck off. There's nothing nice about this. Anybody in Foodie's chat encouraging her to eat, bringing up food, fuck all the way off. You're encouraging an addict to do their addiction on camera. You're saying it's okay. It's not okay. Food is her legal drug, but just because it's legal does not make it right. She's abusing it. She's abusing her body. She's hurting herself in full view of the public. This is not okay. Nobody needs to see this, and nobody needs to look at Foodie and think this is the way you get YouTube views. This is how you make a big channel. Nobody should walk away with that impression. She's making money on YouTube at the expense of her health. And when it comes to your health, you either pay now or you pay later. So do you have the means to pay later, Foodie? Do you have money put away in case there's a medical emergency and you're laid up in the hospital possibly for weeks? You got any money put away? Because I don't think you do. You don't have a support system in place in case something goes wrong. You're not thinking about the what ifs. You're thinking about I'm getting a paycheck right now and that's all that matters.
Because my channel did most of the growing when I was doing mukbangs and story times and things like that. And then I stopped doing them for a while, and I started doing live streams, which built a different kind of audience. And
Okay, stop right there. See, this is where it pays to be someone that you know your context with Foodie. You know the lore. I know the lore with Foodie. I don't know all of it, but I know a great deal of it. And I came in right before this whole bullshit started with the constant live streams. I remember way back when the whole live stream thing started. Y'all want to know how it started? Way before she wasn't doing live streams all the time. And then New Year's Eve, one year, she and Pete's got on stream together. At that time, she was only smoking her vape pen, and she drank alcohol and she ate some pizza. Doing a 6-hour live, she made $600 net. I think it was $800 gross, but $600 net. And that's when the light bulb went off in her head. And she thought to herself, what am I doing short videos when I can do lives and I don't have to record anything? I don't have to upload anything. I can just go live and talk to people for hours and hours and hours, and they'll just send me lots of money. Like, she was focused on the money. And so it became live stream after live stream after live stream, 6 to 10 hours of live streams a fucking day. Oh, as a reactor, it was hell trying to keep up with her. To wake up in the morning and she's already done 2 live streams, have to react to them. And before I could even finish, she's got 2 more, and be doing that literally all day long for months. It was insane. That's what we call Crackhead Olympics, because it was never ending. It wouldn't stop. But she'd be eating on live stream and doing the gummies, ridiculous amounts of gummies. She went from like a couple 100 milligrams all the way up to like 2,000 or 3,000 in one day, and smoked the green on top of that. So she was still binge eating in those lives. Yes, she was. She would sit there and do the white powder all day to give her energy. And then when she wanted to come down, she would do the gummies to bring her back down. But what the gummies would do is prompt her to eat, because it would give her the munchies in the worst way. She gained a lot of weight that way. So she was engaging in very unhealthy, toxic behavior even then.
I still did eat a lot on my live streams.
Oh yeah, you did, because you were greened out, girl. You had the munchies. Girl, you were doing like the shatter bears. You were doing the gummies, like the highest, you were doing the wheelchairs to the point where you were incoherent. And all that did was let the binge monster in your head out and loose to run amok, and it did.
A lot.
You know, everything in Foodie's life is an extreme. She always does, if she finds something she likes, she goes overboard with it. She doesn't know how to do anything in moderation. It's about always doing too much. If she likes food, she's going to do too much. If she likes the gummies, she's going to do too much. Like every addiction that she has, she will push it to a place where she's done so much so often that she can't get high off it anymore. And so she has to bounce to something else just to feel high again. And so she's always constantly bouncing between this thing and the next thing, looking for a way to get high. That's why she needs inpatient. That extreme toxic behavior.
So, I mean, that's just my thought on it. It's like they have slivers of garlic. It's so good.
My stomach is just hurting looking at her eat this shit. 2 plates of different kinds of pasta. I couldn't. I really couldn't. Like, how does she eat this and not get sick? Honestly, it's amazing. It's scary, it's gross, and it's amazing all at the same time.
Just needs garlic bread. Should I try the raw salmon? Okay, let me try with chili. Chili and garlic for flavor. Ooh, it's a lot of chili. I'm not a fan of raw fish.
Why are you eating it? I mean, I'm trying to find the correlation between what she just ate and that plate of the raw salmon. Like, how does that work? Like, two things of pasta and a bit of raw fish. I mean, I can't figure it out.
There we go. Actually, with the sauce and the chili, it's like a nice flavor. It's like it's fishy, kind of.
Well, hello, it's a fish, dummy.
But also really soft. I don't know what kind of raw fish this is. Maybe it looks like shrimp. I love chilies. They don't love me though. Oh well. That was good. Whew. The portions of pasta are not that big, so.
Bullshit. I mean, how big do you want them to be? Just half of one portion of pasta would have been enough for me. But what you just ate was the equivalent of 4 people, but it wasn't that big. Like, how much do you need, foodie? Like, I'm going to go on record as saying this. I'm not trying to make this about myself. I'm just drawing from my experience. When I had BED, I literally got addicted to the feeling of my stomach being full. I had to always have my stomach full of something. I couldn't let it be empty. And the reason behind that was because when your stomach is full, it distracts you from feeling sad and depressed. Like it takes your mind off of your emotions. And I honestly think maybe Foodie has that going on, at least a little bit of it. Like she's obsessed with keeping her stomach full. Anything that's not topped off, like super full, she looks at that as starving. Like that's why she needs fucking therapy.
But
not trying to diagnose Foodie. I'm just saying that might be going on. It just seems like she's got an obsession with always being topped off and full. She's not just got to be full, she's got to be over full. That's not normal. And for those people that are wondering, how can you have BED and like even after you're full, keep eating? Just something that should be known. Under normal circumstances, when you eat, like when you start eating, within the first 10 or 15 minutes, your brain and your stomach, there's a chemical signal. I think it's called pectin. I could be wrong, but there's this chemical that happens to signal your brain to let you know you are full and to stop eating. And sometimes when you have BED, that gets disrupted. It gets messed up for a while. I know it happened with me. So I can only imagine it might be happening with her. Like, even though you're full and your stomach is like stretched out and you're uncomfortable, inside your head, you've got that urge to eat. It's just saying, keep going, keep going, keep going. That's why you need the therapy. You got to get all of that synced back together.
Yeah, like I said, the only thing missing garlic bread. Yeah, like I said, the only thing missing is garlic bread. With cheese. Anyway, I guess that's it. Oh boy, that was a bad idea. Ooh. Don't eat chilies just like that.
If it hurts going down, it's going to hurt worse coming out later. Talk about a ring of fire. You're going to experience it later, foodie.
If you're sensitive. right before I turn into a fire-breathing dragon. So that's all I wanted to say. I get asked that question a lot. That's why I was revisiting this topic.
And another thing, that's something else I can't figure out. So you know that YouTube, on their list of no things to talk about during a video, things that the bots will pick up on, the moment you start talking about an eating disorder and the bots pick up on that, either in the title or the video itself or the audio, you're going to get yellow signed. Yet you're bringing it up again, knowing you're probably going to get yellow signed for it. So why you keep bringing it up, moron? Like, aren't you needing money over there? Yeah, you kept bringing up a topic in a video that YouTube has in their no list. But since you're bringing it up and I want to talk about it and I want to talk about you exploiting yours and abusing yours, yeah, I'm not even going to monetize this shit. Because I want to be able to say what I want to say without fucking code words. Because this is crazy. You sitting there eating 2 plates of pasta and trying to claim that you're not catering to the feeders? Bullshit. It takes one to know one, foodie. You can't lie to one of your own. Somebody who was addicted to something, you can't lie to them. You can't lie to somebody who's been there. They'll see right through you. They'll see right through your crap. I'm seeing right through you. You're doing content to cater to those feeders, to attract more of the same to your channel. It's not even a YouTube channel anymore. It's a fetish channel. You're catering to a certain kind of fetish. And you're hoping that you get a lot of people like that on your channel because sometimes fetish guys pay well. And they'll throw you money off camera. And you won't have to put up with YouTube taking 30% of your pay. That's why you're not freaking the fuck out on lack of super chats. You're getting money off camera for requests. Tell me I'm wrong.
We don't know how many people who eat on camera have problems with food. You know, just because someone's thin doesn't mean they don't have problems with food.
You know what, foodie? I would say the same thing to anybody else who had a channel and they got on camera. I don't care what their weight is. If you got an eating disorder, you shouldn't be, or an addiction, you shouldn't be having a YouTube channel showcasing it and exploiting it. That goes for everybody. Any addiction, any obsession, anything that is altering your life in a harmful way and hurting you in a harmful way, it should not be exploited for profit. Your weight is secondary in this situation. You exploiting what's wrong with you is first. But you coming on camera and hurting yourself, and then we can see the effects of your addiction literally all over you. How you went from someone that used to be able to have more mobility and find clothes to wear. You were going out, you were doing things, and now because of your addiction and you holding on to your addiction tightly, you're losing your mobility. You're having trouble breathing. You've got a myriad of health problems and you don't give a damn. You want to get on camera and exploit what's wrong with you and find people to back that up. But they're not going to be there for you if something happens to you. They're helping to make the situation worse. And I'm not putting the blame entirely on those people because your life is your choice. At any given time, you could come on your channel, flip those feeders the bird and say, fuck all of you. I'm choosing life over death. I'm taking control of the situation. I'm here to do content. I'm here to care for myself. We're going to take things in a different direction. And anybody who's not on board with that, go get fucked. You could do that. Get rid of the poisonous people who are backing up your lack of health and keeping it going. You could say that. You can make different life choices, but you're not choosing life. You're choosing death. And anybody who might be pushing you to an early death. You're leaning into it. You're not backing away. And that is your choice. There's nothing that I or anybody else on YouTube can do to stop you. You've got to stop yourself. You've got the choice still. You're on this side of the grass still. But it's up to you to grab that brass ring and run with it. There's nothing that anybody can do but watch to see what happens. Your life is literally in your hands. So either grab onto the brass ring and run with it, or refuse to grab on, and what will be, will be.
You never know. But people always have problems with the large YouTubers eating on camera. And I just wanted to give my opinion on that. You could be thin and have an eating disorder. You could have a lot of problems. It's just, we still have to eat. That's the difference.
And she's over here doing the whataboutisms, the straw man arguments. Oh, everybody's got a problem, especially with people who are bigger that have eating disorders. I got a problem with anybody who comes on YouTube exploiting what's wrong with them and making money off of it and doing it in full view of the public. Nobody should be doing that shit. I don't care what's going on with you. Don't exploit your hurts. Heal your hurts. You're hurting for a reason. You're in pain for a reason. And the reason is you're in pain. And what you should be doing is healing the problem, not making it worse. If you're experiencing discomfort and suffering, you need to fix it. You don't lean into it. She's leaning into it. She's making that choice. Every time she sits down to do a video, she's making the choice. All we can do is watch. But the true haters are not the reactors. We're here basically trying to wake her up to the fact that what she's doing is not normal. It's wrong. She doesn't want to hear it. So because she doesn't want to hear it, she gets defensive and says we're hating on her. No, foodie, you got it backwards. The people that are in your chat, that come to your chat, knowing you got a problem with food, knowing that you're hyper fixated on food, they're coming to your chat and they're talking to you about food. And they put it right here in your mind, making you think about it more, make you fixate on it more, knowing that the chance of you getting off camera and getting snacks is going to be very, very high, and they don't care. They're going to make you think about the source of your addiction. And then the people that are in your chat, they're feeders, they're going to sit back and watch you eat. And it's going to make them happy. And then they'll pay you for request and keep this whole ridiculous, toxic hamster wheel rolling. And you're not bothering to stop it.
It's between addiction to food and addiction to other things. You don't have to have liquor or other drugs to survive, but you need to eat.
You know what, foodie? And this is where you and I could stand on podiums and I would argue with you and you would lose. You're right. Everybody has to eat. You have to eat in order to have energy, to be healthy, and to live. That's true. But even if you have an eating disorder, you don't have to sit down and eat 2 plates of pasta, mama. You don't have to go there. You can choose to eat healthy food, healthy portions of food. So don't use the fact that just because you're a person and you have to eat in order to continue living as an excuse to eat unhealthy food. That ain't going to work. That argument's not going to hold any water. You can eat healthy food and live. You choose not to. You want to eat the processed junk that's bad for you. There's no nutritional value. There's no vitamins. There's no minerals, no nothing. It's just garbage thrown down your throat. It has no value in it whatsoever for your body. Everything you just ate, there's no nutritional value. Nothing. It's just straight carbs. You didn't do your bodies any favor with this at all. Nope. So just because you have to eat in order to maintain life should not give you a reason, an excuse to eat the processed junk. Because healthy food helps you to live. And an overabundance consumption of processed food pushes you to die.
And how successful would an alcoholic be in recovery if they had to have beer every day. So I mean, it's tough, you know. And then again, on the other hand, for binge eating recovery, you know,
You've said yourself that your weakness is fast food. That's your jam, fast food. That means you should stay away from fast food and eat healthy food. If you know you're going to go overboard with fast food and junk food, you stay away from it, foodie, as much as you can. You don't lean into it.
any therapy I've been in, any self-help books I've read, it's like they tell you, you know, don't over restrict, don't cut everything out right away.
The thing is, though, you're right. I will concede with you on that. Like, if you are used to a routine of eating unhealthy foods, you've got to wean yourself away from those things slowly. Because if you try to do the extreme thing of going from completely unhealthy to completely healthy, inside of your mind, your brain is freaking out, saying, "What are you doing? What is this? I don't like this. It's too much change all at once." You've got to wean yourself away. You're not weaning yourself away. You didn't try to wean yourself away in Kuwait. You're not doing it in Thailand. You're not trying to cut down on the unhealthy stuff and bring in more of the healthy stuff and change your diet slowly. You're not looking for alternatives. You're sticking with the same old, even down to the portion sizes, mama. You're not eating less, you're eating more.
So it's like, it's a struggle. And in the meantime, mukbangs give me an outlet where I can talk and have dinner. And it's just like a comfort thing for me.
You know what, foodie, fuck off. These mukbangs, they give you an outlet to indulge in your fetish and find people with the same fetish and make it profitable. That's all it is. It's not about you talking with people. You're not a social person. Your two main addictions are attention and food. And with your YouTube channel, you are able to satisfy both those needs. You want to be the center of attention and you want to eat. And so you're looking for people that will give you attention while you eat. And they'll pay you money on the side to satisfy their fetish. But don't get it twisted. The people that are indulging in that fetish with you, they do not love you. They don't care for you. They're watching you get unhealthy and they're not speaking out against it. They're encouraging you to go further. But they're not going to be much comfort if you become bedbound and Salah leaves you, which is what's going to end up happening, because he's going to get overwhelmed and say, "Sayonara, it's too much for me. Deal with this shit on your own." He's a 30-year-old man. He's not going to take care of you if you become bedbound.
I don't care about the reasons why you watch me. You have your own personal reasons. I just appreciate you guys that you actually do watch me and are here with me now. So I appreciate that. And that's why I try to do like a mixture of content.
You're not doing a mixture of content. Everything revolves around food. Everything.
You know, some people like the mukbangs. Some people like the commentary, the talk, the company. Some people like live streams. Some people like vlogs, you know. So
yeah, about that. So those people that go to Chantal's channel, just a heads up. You do realize that when she goes to Kuwait, like her going out and doing things, that's pretty much a done deal, right? You got to realize that she's arrived at a place when she's in Thailand, and I don't know exactly when she's coming home, but when she gets back to Kuwait, she's not going out anymore. She's not going to venture outside. She's going to stay inside. And she's going to say to everybody, "I did enough in Thailand. You guys saw a lot. So I'm just going to sit inside and bees. Leave me alone to bees. You guys bugged me to do different stuff. I did different stuff. So leave me alone. Let me do what I want. I want to sit inside this apartment with the air conditioning and my cat and my hamster and just eat." That's really all she wants, is a space to eat. She wants to be surrounded in the thing of her addiction and be left alone with it to consume as much as she wants. because that's where she's at in her addiction. She's in that just being obsessed and consuming phase where that's all she wants to do, and that's where she wants to put her focus on.
Yeah, that's why I have like a mixture of content in a way. I guess that's it. Thank you for having dinner with me. The food was pretty good. It was different, but it was delicious. Different flavor profile than what I'm used to, but
Yeah, so you pretty much confirmed that somebody paid for that shit. But we knew that. I don't know who is paying for this crap, but they're paying for it. You're having a feeder pay for this.
still good nonetheless. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, I don't want to see this in the next one. I could do without. Thank you very much. So she did a live. I haven't really looked at it, but she looked high as balls. But y'all can see now why I'm not monetizing this video. I just wanted to say what I wanted to say, and I'm not doing code words. And I still think it's fucking ridiculous that she's the one on YouTube doing this harmful behavior. And even for the reactors, that we're not doing this crap. We're just talking about it, and YouTube slaps at us, but they monetize her shit. I mean, make it make sense. Anyway, what do you guys think? What do you think about this whole nonsense mess? I think it's just it's so over the top. It's a feeder channel now. She's doing feeder content 100,000%, doing everything she can to bring those people back. Because once upon a time, she was making a lot of money with the feeders, and then she screwed up, and she put things in play to draw them away, and now she's doing the most to bring them back. She wants to make that YouTube money, just catering exclusively to them and really nobody else. So that's it for my react. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and have a good day. Bye now.